First of all, Frank Reich said they had something lined up. That morning he texted me, and he said, we're going to win this game. This is ours, and we've got special things. And we have special things that are going to happen.
Hey, man, let's have some fun out there.
Yes, boys in confidence. That's it.
We really put it in for the NFC Championship game against the Vikings, thinking that's when we were going to run it.
The Eagles are headed for the Super Bowl.
But we don't need to use the play, so we hold it. And now we have 2 more weeks to continue to practice it. And that was important.
That's part of this game is having those types of plays. As a play caller, you never really know when you're going to pull them out. It was right before half, and we had the lead at the time, and we were faced with 4th and about 1.5 yards.
We're going for it right here. We're going for it.
I had a play called. Wasn't really sure, in my gut that was the right play, and the clock was running down, and I ran down the sideline and burned the timeout.
We go timeout.
Well, that's a no-brainer. He ain't gonna go for it.
Of course, I think everybody except the Philadelphia Eagles thought we were gonna kick the field goal. Like Coach Peterson finally wised up. Nick came over to the sideline and he whispered to me,
You want Philly food?
and I looked up at him, and a lot of things like my career flashed before my eyes, the Super Bowl game flashed before my eyes, like, okay, yeah, this is great, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on.
As it was unfolding, there were people who were leaving. They were like leaving, going to get something to eat. I hate those people, right? You hate the people who get something to eat. What is the problem?
Philly special. Ready? Philly special.
It was the right moment, right time, perfect situation.
This could decide the game.
They're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Falls, caught the ball on a touchdown pass in the yard by the tight end. What did we just see?
The NFL is fast, right? It's fast. That was slow. That play unfolded much more slowly than you thought, which was why it was so joyful.
This literally was choreographed like few things you've ever seen. I felt like there was a production, like we were in New York in the theater rather than on a football field. I know Nick comes over and, hey, says, let's run the Philly special. That's a suggestion. Doug Peterson called the play.
Hey, hell of a call. Hell of a call, man.
Because that was his mindset. That was the mindset that he had in our team and the offense and our quarterback at that time in the biggest moment that there was.
That's as aggressive as you could possibly be. You go for it on 4th down with the all-time trick play.
Anytime I get a chance to catch it on TV, I still get nervous when I watch the game itself. But when it gets to that play, the hair stands up on the back of my neck, and I get so nervous.
Another thing we live for, we fooled Belichick. How many people fooled Belichick?
It worked. Good job, buddy. I'm waiting for that one. Great job, man. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling, baby.
I had shows in Denver, so I was watching at my hotel in Denver, and the bar was packed, but nobody's watching the game. It's all Colorado Bronco fans.
Now here we are. Will Lutz. It's a 43-yard try. Lutz's kick is up, and it is good. And with 25 seconds to go in the game, the New Orleans Saints have taken a 24-23 lead.
I'm like, we good. We next round, I'm thinking, I'm getting ready to look up the weather in Philly. I'm like, yeah, we gone.
Literally, this puppy looked like it was wrapped up. I was getting set. They were saying in my ear, Aaron, we're gonna go live to you with Drew Brees.
At that moment, you're like, man, we thinking season over. Minnesota usually don't get miracles.
We need a Minneapolis miracle.
We had 26 seconds left and we took the field.
I mean, the crowd is stunned. Everybody's stunned right now.
It was very quiet. It was like crickets.
The Minnesota Vikings down to their last gasp.
We thought we could get into field goal range. And before the play started, Case said, hey, I'm going to give somebody a chance, so be ready.
The play was, Buffalo right. Key left, 7 heaven.
7 heaven.
7 heaven.
3 receivers right. Case on a deep drop. Steps up in the pocket.
And when the ball is in the air, I'm thinking, oh, we got this. We're going to get in field goal range. Diggs goes up, catches it, lands on his feet somehow.
I was on that side of the field, and I remember seeing him catch it and immediately thinking to get out of bounds.
I was standing real close to him at the time, and I was saying, get out of bounds, let's, get out of bounds. I was excited that he did what he did.
10 seconds to go. Case on a deep drop, steps up in the pocket. He'll fire to the right side, caught by Diggs. Oh, it got loose at the 30, 10, touchdown! Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was stuck in place because I just couldn't believe that actually happened.
Boom, catch. Oh, no. All right, well, he caught it. Maybe it's, no tackle. And then it's over with.
And the Minnesota Vikings have walked off on the New Orleans Saints. It's a Minneapolis miracle.
I am not exaggerating. I fell on my knees in the bar, and I fell down and I started crying. I fell, and some people were like they honestly thought they should call an ambulance. They didn't know what was happening.
It is absolutely insanity down here on the field.
I don't think I'll ever be able to watch that play without Joe Buck's call on it. I mean, the way Joe screamed Stephon Diggs' name, Diggs!
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
It was like, I said, Joe, I'm shocked you have vocal cords after that.
61 brilliant yards for Stephon Diggs has just taken the Minnesota Vikings to the NFC Championship game.
The Minneapolis Miracle to me is one of the greatest plays. I'm obviously biased, but it's just we don't ever have stuff like that. It's so few and far between.
Is this real life? Is this real life?
If there's anything different about us than the Cowboys is we were maybe a little more prepared. And that title meant more to Coach Lombardi maybe than any other. He wanted 3 in a row very badly.
I think it should be the coldest one in history. Could be. 1935. Well, it's going to be 7 below. 7 below?
The Packers own the football at their own 32-yard line. This may be one of the last opportunities the Packers get. They'll have to make the most of it.
And the Packers did nothing in that second half. 0. They get the ball at the 32-yard line, and Starr brings them down the field.
Starr, play action pass. He's back to throw. Gets the pass away. It's complete to Donnie Anderson. Packers are going to have to keep this drive going. A field goal would tie it up and throw this thing into overtime.
The Green Bay Packers basically had 1st and 10 at the 1-yard line, and they ran 2 straight dive plays, and they got nothing.
He's not in. The Packers call time again. That's all the timeouts the Green Bay Packers have. They are still inches away from that goal line.
So I ran to the sideline. I said, Coach, there's nothing wrong with the play. The backs simply can't get to the line of scrimmage because the ground is so hard there. I said, I'm standing upright. I can shuffle my feet and lunge in. All he said at that time was, well, then run it, and let's get the hell out of here.
17-14, Cowboys out in front. Here are the Packers, 3rd down, inches to go. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback sneaking. He's into the touchdown, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be NFL champions for the 3rd straight year.
In those conditions, to go down the field like they went down the field in that spot, it's probably the most iconic drive in the history of the NFL.
I knew what the play was going to be, and I somehow knew Bart was going to run the play and carry the ball. And so I felt a great pressure on myself to get the job done. And I watched 3 movies of games prior to our game in short yardage films. I said, Coach, we can wedge Pugh if we have to. So when we get to the 1-yard line and they call the sneak, well, I know where Jethro's going to be. And I got him in the chest, and that was that.
Coach, we're going to have a play right now. You can see it on this monitor.
I hope I can see it.
This is Gary Kramer, makes a key block for Bart Starr on this quarterback sneak.
Yeah, that's a fine block, and there's a real good
feel that that play is one of the greatest plays of all time?
Absolutely.
First and goal, Arizona at the 2-yard line. They trailed by 3. They're trying to go ahead. They're out of timeouts. 18 seconds left of the second quarter here in Super Bowl 43. Steelers show blitz. They're back. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25-30, 35-40. Still on his feet at the 45 and down. No, he's still on his feet. Here comes Harrison jumping over people to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. And that's a touchdown from Pittsburgh. An amazing play by James Harrison.
Being a defensive guy, you like to see defensive players make big plays like that. I did not think he was going to run 100 yards and score that touchdown. I ain't going to lie to you. You see him start getting a little fatigued, getting close to that end zone, but he did it, you know, so he proved me wrong.
A 100-yard touchdown return by James Harrison.
James Harrison is out on the field. He is totally exhausted.
You see him, like, fall into the end zone. Totally out of breath. We were just dying laughing.
He gonna need 9 IVs. There's no way to get the IVs ready. He gonna need them.
You look at a guy who's really enjoying his oxygen.
I did the update where he's like, you know, Sunday, you know, after the game or whatever, and he's still trying to catch his breath.
My lungs. Oh, God, my lungs.
Still, I mean, it must have been exciting.
Been exciting to what, huh? Meet Jesus? Because while I was lying in that end zone, he came down. And he said, James, you ready to go? And I'll never forget, I said, yes.
Seth Meyers wrote that, so thank you, Seth. We had called a max out blitz. My initial thought out the gate was, we're not getting to him in time. So I said, I'm gonna gamble. So I'm gonna take a step forward so that the tackle steps towards me, make sure Timmons can get through, and then I'm gonna drop out and I'm gonna play for a quick slant in. As I'm dropping, I'm looking at Kurt, and I'm thinking he's looking at me. And I'm like, yeah, he's not about to throw it. And then I see his arm go up. I say, he's about to throw the ball.
Steelers show blitz. Here they come. He gets it away, and it's picked off. James Harrison.
Later on, I talked to Kurt. He said he never even saw me. He said he knew I was supposed to be blitzing on that play because he had read it out.
A guy that rushes on almost every play, drops off, and in full Kurt.
As soon as I catch the ball, I take off the run. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to the house. I got to save Townsend on my right side, and he goes grabbing for the ball. And I'm like, nah, I got to slap him away. I'm like, block somebody. Shay moves Kurt out the way, and we're bumbling, stumbling through. And I think somebody either hit me in the back or pushed me in the back. And then all of a sudden, as I look up, it's like a big, giant, heavy lineman to the left. Kiesel blocks him, and then Timmons gets to running back. I jump over Woodley, and again, it's another big giant lineman there. I'm like, yeah, I might not make it. So I stumble over him. All of a sudden, I feel something like hit my chest, and it ended up being Fitzgerald. Well, he went to swing at the ball, and he missed the ball. If he had hit that ball, it would have fell out. He would have been a hero. It would have been all that for nothing. But he hit my chest. It gave me enough time to cover up the ball. And 15, he hit me from behind. Fitzgerald tried to pull me down. I rolled over on him and landed in the end zone. And the rest is history, so to speak.
It's either a touchdown or it's the end of the half. An amazing turn of events.
Damn, Debo. It's the greatest running back in NFL history. Yeah!
I still blame Antrell Roll for blocking me. If Trey wasn't on the field, I would have been able to tackle him, be able to get him down, and that might have saved us, an opportunity to win that game.
You name a play in the Super Bowl that is better than that one. It can't be. I mean, it's just impossible. You got the number of people that it took to make it possible, the yardage that it took, and when it happened, it was no time left. If we didn't score that touchdown, all that would have been for nothing. If that's not number one, I don't know what is. That's one.
It was an amazing return in an amazing spot. And then in that same game, Santonio Holmes makes a toe tap catch in the corner of the end zone to win the game for Pittsburgh.
Time to be great. Time to be great. Who daring? I'm daring to be great right now.
Santonio really hadn't asserted himself up to that point. But I was confident in Ben.
44 seconds left, Super Bowl 43.
Man. We need this play, man. This win the championship for us right here, man.
All I could think about was getting my feet down, falling in bounds. This is about to be a beautiful catch. Game over.
Four-man rush. Ben coming back the other way. Holmes can't make that catch.
He had that.
Ball slips right through my fingers. Oh, I'm laying on the ground talking smack to myself. Dude, you suck. You just blew the game.
Damn!
So Ben comes running back in the huddle. He turns and he side-eyes me. He gave the play call.
Gun, Doc left, F short. 6-2 scat, flash, receive level on one, right?
And my eyes get really big.
Second down and goal for the Steelers at the Arizona 7. The Steelers down by 3.
Get out, and I line up, and I stumble off the line of scrimmage. And I'm thinking, dude, you can't fall here. You can't fall, you can't mess this play up. It's not gonna be good.
Roethlisberger has time, throws to the back of the end zone.
Santonio with a touchdown! Santonio Holmes! I don't know how he did it! Unbelievable!
Incredible!
Ben, I don't know how he saw me in the back of the end zone, but I could see him just literally point. And the ball came flying out of his hands, and I could, just watch the ball come through the air and directly at me. I didn't think I was in bounds when I first caught the ball because I didn't see the referee. That felt like it was in slow motion. He was taking this little itty-bitty time just to get his hands up in that air.
The official comes in. Let's just make sure he's in. Does he get both feet down with control?
I say yes. I say
do
both feet in, both feet down.
He working hard. We score right here, baby. He brought us 6 championships. That's a touchdown.
Controlled the football, came down on both toes, inbounds, touchdown is ruled on the field.
That was all Santonio why he was the MVP. He should not have thrown that ball, especially not in a triple coverage, but he did, and the rest is history.
That's how you be great! That's how you be great!
And Super Bowl 43 is history. The Pittsburgh Steelers are Super Bowl champions.
2009, February 1st, Santonio Holmes, Super Bowl 43 MVP, with one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history.